Good morning students. I am Anita. Today I am going to teach a topic is inverse of a square matrix. Dear children, before we jump on the topic, we shall be recapitulating what we have to already studied in my first video. That is minor of a square matrix, cofactor of a square matrix, adjoint of a square matrix. How do we find adjoint of a matrix to the given matrix? That all we studied in my first class. So in my second video is I would like to teach some definitions and theorem statement. First definition is a square matrix A is said to be singular if determinant of A equal to 0. If we find the determinant value is 0 mean that matrix A is called singular matrix. A square matrix A is said to be non-singular if determinant of A is not equal to 0. If we find the determinant value is other than 0 mean that matrix A is called non-singular matrix. Next definition is inverse of a square matrix. Let A be a square matrix of order n if there exists a square matrix B of order n such that AB equal to BA equal to IN. Then the matrix B is called an inverse of A. Meaning of this definition is the matrix A is given. Suppose the matrix B is exist, that B matrix satisfies the condition is AB equal to BA equal to IN means B is called inverse of A and A is a inverse of B. For example, I take a real number is 3, multiplicative inverse of 3 is 1 by 3. If I product both the numbers 3 and 1 by 3, we get the answer is 1. We already know that 1 is an multiplicative identity element. So, 3 and 1 by 3 are inverse to each other. That the meaning is 3 is an inverse of 1 by 3 and 1 by 3 is an inverse of 3. And we know every element having unique inverse. So 3 having only one inverse, 1 by 3 having only one inverse. Similarly, if I take a matrix is A and it inverse is A inverse. If I product both the matrix A and A inverse, we get a identity matrix. So from this result, we know A is an inverse of A inverse. Here given B satisfies the condition is AB equal to BA equal to IN. So I am taking that result AB equal to BA equal to IN. If I product both the numbers, I get identity matrix. So A and B are inverse to each other. That means A is the inverse of B and B is the inverse of A. Here also the matrix of the inverse is unique. Next theorem. For every square matrix A of order n, A into adjoint A equal to adjoint A into A equal to determinant of A into I. We already studied how to find adjoint of a matrix to the given matrix A. So product of A into adjoint A, that value is equal to adjoint A into A is also determinant of A into I. The next theorem, if a square matrix has an inverse, then it is unique. If any matrix having an inverse mean that will be unique, it doesn't have more than one inverse. This is the meaning for this theorem. Theorem 1.3. Let a square matrix of order n, then A inverses exist if and only if A is a non-singular. Meaning of this statement is given A is a square matrix, if a matrix having an inverse mean that should be a non-singular matrix. If suppose the matrix is a non-singular matrix mean that matrix having an A inverse. This is the meaning for this theorem. If and only if mean the converse is also true. If inverse of A is exist, then it is given by A inverse equal to 1 by determinant of A into adjoint A. This is the formula for finding an inverse for the given matrix. Next one is, if suppose the determinant value is equal to 0, then the matrix is called singular matrix. So the singular matrix has no inverse. So if a matrix having an inverse mean that should be non-singular. If it is a singular matrix mean that matrix having no inverse. That's all. Next theorem. If A is non-singular, then determinant of A inverse equal to 1 by determinant of A. So determinant of A inverse value is nothing but 1 by determinant A value. And the second one is A transpose the whole inverse value is equal to A inverse the whole transpose. And third one is lambda A the whole inverse is equal to 1 by lambda into A inverse. So scalar multiplication of a matrix taking an inverse, that value is equal to 1 by lambda into A inverse, where lambda is a non-zero scalar. Non-zero scalar means lambda value is not equal to 0. Next theorem is, this theorem naming is lift cancellation law. Let A, B and C be a square matrix of order is n. If A is non-singular and AB equal to AC, then B equal to C. If the three matrices are here, that is A, B, C. The three matrices satisfies the condition is AB equal to AC, and also the important condition is A is non-singular. Because we are using this result, we have to find the theorem result, that is B equal to C. So AB equal to AC means we cancel this A on both sides. So we don't directly cut this A. We are using some properties to eliminate the matrix A. That is, let us see the expansion for this problem. That is, A is a non-singular mean determinant of A is not equal to 0, then the inverses exist. If I take a relation is AB equal to AC, I have pre-multiplied by A inverse on both sides of this conditions. Pre-multiply mean that is we are multiplying A inverse on left side. So A inverse into AB equal to A inverse into AC. So already we study the result A inverse equal to identity matrix. So we are applying this result here. A inverse equal to I. So I into B equal to A inverse is I. So I into C. We get the result is B equal to C. The next statement theorem, that is a right cancellation law. A, B and C be a square matrix of order is n if A is non-singular and BA equal to CA, then B equal to C. So we are taking three matrices, that is A, B, C. That order is also n. If A is non-singular, A is non-singular means determinant of A is not equal to 0. This is the important condition. Because the inverses exist, we are applying this result to prove it the theorem. BA equal to CA means A is right side. So we are cancel this A on both sides. We don't eliminate directly. We are applying some properties to eliminate the A. Then we have the result is B equal to C. Let us see the expansion. Similarly, here we post multiply by A inverse. Post multiply means we are multiplying A inverse on right side. We get right cancellation law. We are having the condition is BA equal to CA, that is BA equal to CA. So we are taking this result and that place. So we are post multiply by A inverse. So BA into A inverse, CA into A inverse. Post multiply means we are multiplying A inverse on right side. So A inverse value is I. This is already we studied. So we are applying the result here. Bi equal to C into I. Then we get the result is B equal to C. That's all. The next naming theorem is reversal law for inverse. If A and B are non-singular matrices of same order, then the product AB is also non-singular and AB the whole inverse equal to B inverse into A inverse. The first thing is A and B are non-singular. A and B are non-singular matrix means determinant A is not equal to 0 and determinant B is also not equal to 0. Then we are having the product AB is also non-singular. Then the product determinant of AB is not equal to 0. Determinant of AB is not equal to 0 mean the matrix AB is a non-singular. This is the first thing. And second one is AB the whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. We are taking the inverse for AB, that is the reverse is B inverse into A inverse. Then only we call that this is a reversal law for inverse. Next theorem, that naming is law of double inverse. If A is non-singular, then A inverse is also non-singular. A is non-singular mean determinant of A is not equal to 0. A inverse is also non-singular mean determinant of A inverse is not equal to 0. If determinant of A value is not equal to 0 mean determinant A inverse value is also not equal to 0. This is the meaning of this statement, and A inverse the whole inverse is equal to A. We are finding inverse of A inverse, we get the answer is A. Next theorem, that is 1.9. If A is a non-singular matrix of order n, then adjoint A the whole inverse is equal to adjoint of A inverse, which is equal to 1 by determinant A into A. Adjoint of inverse value is equal to adjoint of A inverse. This value is nothing but 1 by determinant of A into A. And the second one is determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant to the power n minus 1. We are using these results from some problems. Third one is adjoint of adjoint A is equal to determinant to the power n minus 2 into A. Adjoint of lambda A value is equal to lambda power n minus 1 into adjoint A, and lambda is not equal to 0. And fifth one, determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant to the power n minus 1 square. And sixth one, adjoint A the whole transpose value is equal to adjoint of A transpose value. Now I want to prove the determinant A value. So if I take a matrix of order is 3 cross 3 and it is a non-singular matrix, I take A is a non-singular matrix. A is a non-singular matrix means determinant of A is not equal to 0. Now I am using the theorem 1.3 second condition, that is theorem 1.9 second condition, determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant to the power n minus 1. I write the result here. So here I am taking 3 cross 3 matrix. So n value is 3. So I am applying n value is 3 here. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant the square. I want the value of determinant A. So I am taking a square root on both sides. Before that, a square value, determinant of A square value is equal to determinant of adjoint A. A square value is always positive. So determinant of adjoint A value is also positive. So we are taking square root on both sides. So determinant of A equal to plus or minus square root of determinant of adjoint A. So already we study the inverse of the definition, that is A inverse equal to 1 by determinant of A into adjoint A. So we are finding A inverse formula here. I write the formula in this place. So A inverse equal to plus or minus, because we find determinant A value, that is square root of 1 by adjoint A. I am substitute this value in this place. So plus or minus 1 divided by square root of adjoint of A into adjoint of A. Now the next one is by third condition. 1.9 third condition is adjoint of adjoint A equal to determinant A to the power n minus 2 into A. I write the result here. Here n value is 3. So adjoint of adjoint A is equal to determinant to the power 3 minus 2 into A. 3 minus 2 is 1. So adjoint of adjoint A equal to determinant A into A. I want to find the matrix A. So I kept it in right side. A equal to 1 by determinant of A into adjoint of adjoint A. So if in some problems adjoint A matrix is given, we have to find the matrix A. So that problem we using this formula to find the matrix A. Hence if A is a non-singular matrix of order 3, then we have A equal to plus or minus 1 divided by root of adjoint of A into edge of edge A. Here determinant of A is here. Already we find determinant A value is plus or minus root of determinant adjoint A. We are applying this result in this place. So 1 divided by root of adjoint of A, determinant of adjoint A into edge of edge A. So theorem 1.10, if A and B are any two non-singular matrices of order n, then adjoint of AB equal to adjoint of B into adjoint of A. A and B are two non-singular matrix means determinant of A is not equal to 0, determinant of B is not equal to 0. Then adjoint of AB value is equal to adjoint of B into adjoint of A. That's all. Thank you, students.